Okay, this is going to show you how to design the customers table in Access, which is a subsequent portion of the lab. I believe it's part B of lab 3, BIS 245. This is the database design right here. Go to database tools, go to relationships. It's always good to look at it. This is from the starter file provided in the week 3 lab module at the very bottom of the lab 3 overview. You need to add a customers table to this design. So I'm going to shut down this window. I'm going to go to create, and I'm going to go create table, and in it I am going to then right click on what they give you and go to design view, which will then prompt them to ask me to give it a name, which I'm going to call it customers, and you can see that it added it right here. First thing I have to do is put the customer ID in here, which will be a short text column with a 25 field size. And the reason you set a field size is to avoid using unnecessary space in your database. For small databases it's not really a big issue, but if you're making a database for Amazon which will have millions of transactions, giving too much space to a column can really slow down your database and make you have to upgrade space unnecessarily, etc. And then you would put in the customer last name, and it's good to prefix the column with something that refers to the table that it's in, because you could have an employee table at some point, for example, and you need to be able to distinguish whether that first name or last name is from that which table, whether it's the customers table or not. And then you could have customer address, and that would also be short text. And don't forget to set the field size to what's specified in the instructions. (25), etc. Okay, there is more to this than these columns, but I just want you to get enough that you see the feel of it. You can enter in the other ones that they ask for yourself. So we X out of this at the top right, we save it, and now we have to join up the customers to the orders table. So we go again to database tools and relationships to see what we have to do, and we can right click here and we can go to show table and click on customers. Okay, and the customers table is there. In order to join up the customers table to the orders table, you need to go into table design, and you've got to make sure that there is a customer ID field in here, and it's got to be the same data type as the customer ID primary key in the customers table. We're in the orders table here, and we've got a customer ID. If you don't have one, add one. Make it short text. Make sure it's the same data type. I think they use 10 as the field size in the example. And shut that down so that you're sure that you've got a customer ID here and a customer ID here. And then you just pick up one of the customer IDs, drag it left, like left hold your mouse, and put it over the other customer ID. And then click on Enforce Referential Integrity in the window that comes up. Verify that you've got cust ID in both places, or at least the same field. I've seen some situations where the customer ID might be spelled customer ID rather than cust ID. As long as you know you're joining the two fields that you want to talk to each other in a relationship, you're good. Click on Enforce Referential Integrity. What that means is that you can't delete a customer from the customers table if a row in the orders table is pointing to that particular customer, because you don't want to have a customer ID with no related customer information. That would create an orphaned record over here. So enforcing referential integrity means an error message will come up if you try to delete somebody in this table if their customer ID is being used in this table, the orders table. And you may see this in different places in the course. To cascade means to copy a change to all relevant parts of the database that have the original value. So if for some reason I change the customer ID of customers, if I change a value in one place, then it will cascade that through other places in the database that use that same piece of information as well. And I click on create. and I can check that it is one to many. Each customer places many orders by looking at the infinity sign. And there is no verb phrase allowed here in Microsoft Access, so you don't have to worry about that. And just make sure that you complete all the different columns required in the instructions in the customers table, and you're done this portion. Thanks.